which part of the hook model do you feel startups get wrong most often?
Most often is not considering using it in the first place, to be honest. The is that I think most entrepreneurs think, well, if I just build the best product, that's enough, right? That's old saying, if you build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door. That's not really true anymore. And it's not true because, look, I've seen it firsthand that startup graveyards are full of companies that had the best product, the best technology. It's not enough. That having a great product is table stakes. Of course you have to have a great product, duh, but it's not enough. You also have to figure out how to capture the monopoly of the mind. It's the product you think of first. It's the first to mind solution that you turn to with little or no conscious thought out of habit. That's the product that captures the market. So the biggest mistake I see is that, product teams don't take just a few minutes, to ask themselves, if my product needs habitual use, if my product requires people to come back on their own and use the product out of habit. And to be clear, not every product does, right? If your product isn't used frequently, maybe it's a one-time use product, you don't necessarily have to form a habit. But if your product does need people to return in order for your business model to succeed, you've got to figure out how to build a hook into your product. So sitting down for just a few minutes, understanding what the hook model is, and then identifying what's your trigger, what's your action, what's your reward, and what's your investment, and does that hook occur frequently enough to build a consumer habit? That's the biggest mistake, is thinking that these companies got lucky, that Zuckerberg just chanced into creating Facebook. No, it didn't happen this way. Many people don't realize that, Mark Zuckerberg, when he was everybody knows that he dropped out of Harvard and that he was a computer science major, but they don't know a lot of people don't realize he was also a psychology major. That the founders of Instagram, Kevin Systrom, was a symbolic systems major at Stanford, where I used to teach and where I went to business school. Symbolic systems is all about the interaction of psychology and technology. That these people understand what makes you click and what makes you tick better than you understand yourself. That this is not an accident. It is very intentional. They understand consumer psychology and they apply it. And so we should do the same to help people build healthy habits in their life.
Excellent. And could you tell us about some of the startups that created better products after reading your book?
Sure. So the one that's top of mind is a company that I invested in. That it would be 3 years ago, and it's the best investment I ever made in my life. So I do these weekly office hours, and people can call me from all over the world. And if someone, it's meant for people who have read the book and have some kind of question about one of my books, and they can book time with me in 15-minute increments for free. It doesn't cost anything. And so a few years ago, a company called me, and this founder by the name of Johan called me from Norway. And he said, we read your book, we read Hooked, and we have this idea for an educational startup. And we're going to use the Hooked model as the backbone of how to keep kids on this platform, on this educational platform. And it's going to teach kids all kinds of things. Anybody can use it to learn. And here's our hook. And he walked me through the 4 steps of his hook model: trigger, action, reward, and investment. And I said, this is brilliant. I love it. Can I invest? So I put a bit of money in it. And in October, they went public. And now, and today, Kahoot is the largest educational platform in the world.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.